Haiti and Syria. That's a program that started in 1990 aimed at protecting those escaping war, natural disasters, or other crises.
Joining us now to talk about the High Court's ruling is Carolyn Shapiro. She is a law professor at Chicago-Kent College of Law. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I want to talk about this decision when it comes to TPS, or temporary protective status, because there's a lot of people living here in Chicago who are working under TPS. And so explain what it means moving forward for folks coming into the country.
Well, TPS designation, as you said before, is provided when people come from a country where there's been some kind of natural disaster or armed conflict, and it's really unsafe. And the idea is that they can stay here at least as long as it remains really unsafe, and while they're here, they can work. And in some instances, that is an extremely long period of time because the countries remain very unsafe. And here we're talking about Haiti and Syria. There's a process under which the government is supposed to evaluate periodically whether or not TPS status should remain in effect. And there's things that the government is supposed to do, sort of steps they're supposed to take in making that decision. And here, where the government eliminated TPS for Syrian and Haitian immigrants, the allegation is that the government didn't take those steps. And what the court said is, yeah, well, maybe not, but we don't have jurisdiction to figure that out. So we just can't even look at it.
Because so many of the people who have come to this country have been given temporary protected status, does this Supreme Court decision now essentially mean, it's like a light switch? One president turns it on, then the next president turns it off and says, nope, get out.
The statute kind of provides for that to some extent because it does limit judicial review. But the statute also says when you make those decisions, you have to do certain things first. And here, the secretary, it was Secretary Noem of Homeland Security, did not do those things. So that's the allegation, and that the court says, well, we can't make her do those things. But the TPS case is also really important and really quite devastating for another reason, which is that the Haitian immigrants said, look, it's not our TPS status is being revoked, not based on what's happening in Haiti and a determination that it's now safe for us to go back there, but it's based on race. It's pure racism, and we can recall many of the things that the then candidate Trump said during the campaign, and some of which I can't even repeat on air. But talked about Haitians eating people's cats and dogs, just slandering them and talking about they were from a dirty country. They made our country dirty. And the court said, yeah, well, we just don't really see anything racist in that. So we're not going to allow the Haitians to claim that their equal protection rights were violated.
So interesting. Let me ask you one more question before we have to let you go. Obviously, we're waiting for other decisions to come down, one of them being birthright citizenship, right? The Supreme Court's supposed to weigh in on that. What does what happened today sort of tell you about what we may see when it comes to that decision?
Honestly, I don't think it tells us anything.
Okay.
There are people who argue, well, they're giving the Trump administration these wins because they're going to rule against him in birthright citizenship. I do think they're likely to rule against him on birthright citizenship. They certainly should, in my opinion. But I just don't think we can we can make a prediction based on what happened today.
Okay.
All righty. Carolyn Shapiro from the Chicago-Kent College of Law. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll talk again soon. WGN Investigates now. This week marks 3 months since Sheriff's Police started patrolling CTA trains. They'll put together a long-term plan based on their findings. One of the big issues they saw, 80 to 90% of